KTM's brand image in India and everywhere else in the whole world is that of a mad hooligan bike maker. The legacy features the manic mad motocross lineup of bikes, the mega mental RC8, and of course the very well known and extremely popular Duke lineup, starting with the flagship 1290R to the street brawlers 200 and the 390. KTM's recent success in the motor racing scene has led to massive amounts of R&D going into their bikes, especially lower capacity super sports, and thus a street bike was in the making. If you are one of those people who were thinking of buying a new bike this year, then the equation just turned a little more complex. Because what KTM has done now is introduce this. Based on the same platform and engine as the Duke390, the RC390 has certain changes that go deeper than what meets the eye. Let's talk about what meets the eye first, because for us Indians, the majority of the charm of a bike comes from the way it looks, and if that is anything to go by, the RC delivers in spades. The fairing is a completely new design, and clever engineering by the KTM boffins has ensured higher ground clearance on the RC390 than the Duke390. The rear view mirrors with the integrated blinkers look brilliant, and the DRLs are of course oh so crazy. Air routing on the RC390 has changed completely and aids in aerodynamics when you want to take it to the limit on the track. The exhaust is now integrated into the fairing and does not stick out like a sore thumb. In fact, it looks exceedingly well crafted and in sync with the overall design. The slimline tank in the matte black color feels nice, and the knee recesses look purpose built for leaning into corners with the poise of a ballet dancer. Dual projector lamps up front is a victory of functionality over form, as it lights up the road at night brilliantly well even with the low beam. The sporty looking rear cowl, which conceals a very well made pillion seat, is again a very similar story. Soft, supple, and transmits no vibrations to the backside of the pillion whatsoever. So if you were to carry a pillion who you say have a crush on, you can keep her there as long as you like without any complaints. So that is the monkey business covered. Now for the more functional changes. The similar looking orange trellis frame is slightly revised to give it a higher rake angle. The result is a shorter wheelbase and taller steering inputs, which in turn means that the RC can turn in sharper and faster than the naked twin sister. The front fork travel has been minimized by a little extent so that the front end dive is better controlled. The engine has received certain tweaks as well, prime of which is slightly refined ignition timing. Thus, the RC feels like it has slightly taller gearing. However, the power and torque figures remain unchanged from the Duke390. To find out what effect these modifications has had on the RC's performance, we decided to pit it up against the prime rivals, the Duke390 and the Ninja300. Now, the Ninja was late to arrive to the party. Our test rider was cruising lazily on the highway, oblivious to the task in hand, so we thought it best to give the RC the full beans and find out how it performs in terms of outright acceleration. The following footage for the top speed run you have probably seen before. However, a little top speed run never hurt anything, so here's a retake. By now, the Ninja had arrived and we found a straight piece of closed tarmac. Of course, we did what we had to do next, an industry standard drag race over 500 meters. This is where we expected the RC to have an edge with the fairing in terms of straight line stability. So, here goes. By the end of the drag, Sachin was being all cocky about how the Duke still came out on top and how he still had the faster bike. Our resident panda was fuming and was having none of it. So he wanted to do some cornering where we all knew that the revised geometry on the RC comes into the picture, and as foretold by some great people, of course we don't know who, the RC inevitably came out on top even with a late start. Thinking time, we became hungry.
We're nearing lunch. What time is it?
At one of the coolest lunch places around town, we parked the Ninja and the RC and waited to see what kind of attention these bikes grab. The RC weirdly didn't look like an attention grabber, and even with the old design and green signature paint, the Ninja was the one grabbing eyeballs. So we asked the Ninja to leave. So he did. One kind man arrived with the chocolate milkshakes and of course the filming stopped. This being Bangalore, the rain started and we headed on. The sun went down and we went off to sleep. The next morning, we needed another Ninja. The green Ninja friend was angry with us as we had asked him to leave. So, we had to borrow another one. A quick couple of calls later, our Ninja arrived, along with another Duke 390. The Duke 390 that we filmed the previous day had developed some battery issues and had gone into hiding. No issues then, we headed out for a nice little ride. Riding impressions over, after switching the bikes a couple of times, we stopped to have a chat and asked them about what they felt about the RC.
It's as linear as Ninja. Pretty much.
So how would you judge a person who is riding this and overtakes you?
With the KTM?
Yeah.
I think this thing can pull it off. Feels very stable in corners.
It's planted?
Yeah.
I would buy the RC, yeah. Somebody, who wants real bang for his buck. It makes perfect sense. You get a package like this with ABS, with the tires. If you're looking at a lot of city riding, if you're looking at a lot of touring, this is not the bike for you. A lot of track use, the odd weekend ride, a little bit of city riding and all, because, within traffic, I think this would be a little painful to ride.
If we actually have to sum up what these three bikes are, the perfect bike would be the sheer grunt of the RC390, the usability of the Duke 390,
and the looks of the
Ninja.
Yeah.
I think we agree on that.
Yeah, exactly.
We agree on that.
Agreed.
And the mileage of a Splendor. that makes real good sense.